Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream. Before we get started, Darth Ghostface has already gone over it, and I addressed it in a community post yesterday. But yes, it is indeed a tragedy that Star Wars Marvel purist had his channel falsely taken down by false copyright claims. It is indeed a very unfortunate situation. I already linked his new YouTube channel, so he should be if you guys could go over there and subscribe to give him some support, that would absolutely be appreciated. Please go over and give him some support. All right, let us see who is in the chat tonight. Darth Ghostface. Hey, Brandon. Double AA. Yes. Welcome to the stream. It's all the Disney Star Wars female fanboys that are simping hard to these fake fangirls. Absolutely. Solar Voludan. Greetings. Do you think the Lego Batman will be good? I'm hoping so. It might. It has the potential to be good, but I'm gonna reserve judgment for when I get around to actually watching the gameplay stuff, because they released over 30 minutes of gameplay, so I got to take a look at that. Probably off stream when I'm not busy. No scruffy looking nerf herder tonight. He's busy with work at the moment. So I'm afraid I'm flying solo on this one, guys. Okay. Just checked Discord real quick for anything, but nope. Okay. Let us get tonight, before we get into talking about the new game, I figured, let's tackle the people who were praising the absolute dumpster fire that was Batman Caped Crusader, which I guarantee you all forgot came out. So first on our list, let us take a look at High CHD, a usual person I cover on stream, with Batman Caped Crusader is mid. Chances are this might be the first time he has a decent take. Maybe. Chances are he'll probably say something really, really stupid. So keep your expectations tight, guys. ICHD is a retard. Yes, he is. That show was trash. Actually, I would say it's the very first Batman show that we've ever gotten that we actually can consider trash. Like, objectively terrible. It was not mid. It is trash. I agree. I think Paris will come back next week. There was a tweet that says 8 days he's coming back. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen him say anything on Discord, so I'd have to double check that because I don't flip on. I'm not on Twitter that much. All right, let us get into it, guys. Let's go.
So we're here for a little review of Batman the Caped Crusader. Now, obviously, I was going to review this being a pretty solid Batman fan.
I don't know. You clearly have showcased that you are nowhere near a Marvel fan. So what are the chances you're even an actual Batman fan? I would say your chances are very, very low. Very low.
I don't know about y'all, but I literally did not hear about this show until like a couple weeks before it was supposed to come out. And I was like, oh, new Batman show.
I knew about this show for a while before it was one of the projects that got canceled when David Zaslav took over, and then it got brought back. I do remember Jar Jar Abrams was supposed to be one of the producers of the show, and frankly, I was I was on the fence about it. I didn't know because, J.J. Abrams destroyed Star Wars and Star Trek.
Okay. Oh, I can't really say I had a shit ton of anticipation going into this. That being said, I think the whole shtick with this show is that it's supposed to be like a spiritual successor of Batman the Animated Series.
I don't get that. I've seen some people say that it's supposed to be a spiritual successor, but it's like, wouldn't that be something like the Batman from 2004? Wouldn't that be a spiritual successor to Batman, the animated series, rather than this show? Like, I don't even know if anyone can actually give me a proper explanation as to how this is a spiritual successor. Exactly. How? I have absolutely no damn clue. None. Absolutely none.
Now, I haven't seen that show in like forever since I was a kid. I don't even remember what happens. I think I saw like bits and pieces of it.
Bro, if you consider yourself a huge Batman fan and you haven't seen B-Test ever since you were a kid, there's something wrong with you. I don't think you're as big a Batman fan as you say, if that's the case. I mean, I've watched that show at least 2 times, going on 3. Each time with first time was with I watched it with my sister. Second time was with my brother, and now I'm watching it a third time with my other sister. So come on, dude.
More so a Batman Beyond fan. Like, I've watched that show probably like a dozen times at this point. Plus, when I heard that Matt Reeves was working on it, I was like, oh shit. Because as you guys know,
Matt Reeves is nothing more than a producer for this show. As far as I'm aware, that was like the extent of his involvement.
oh, he led the Batman movie in 2022, which was fucking peak Batman. I'm like, oh,
That's debatable. It was an all right movie, in my opinion.
okay, this is probably going to be some heat. Now, for me, after watching it, I was just kind of like, meh, I guess it's all right. The show is certainly not bad, but it's not great.
Oh, okay. I see. Are you talking about Caped Crusader? Forgot the yeah, we're kind of easing into talking about Batman by talking about the worst show ever. So this guy, High CHD cannot say it's bad, but he can't say it's good. So he has to go down the middle of the road because he wants to get that WB access. He wants to become a shill. He's a wannabe shill. That's all he is. He's a wannabe shill for these companies. The 1990s Batman the Animated Series is a classic. It's a shame that Mark Hamill stars in it, which is why I can't enjoy watching it anymore, knowing what an unhinged piece of shit he is. That's actually a shame, Darth Ghostface. I personally can kind of separate Mark Hamill from the Joker for that show. I can do it, and I do it for the sake of I'm showing it to my siblings. Didn't that show have drag queen penguin? No, it was gender swapped penguin. It was not a drag queen. Whew. Sorry, guys. I'm a bit. I'm a bit tired. It has been a very, very long and tough week for me. Like, absolutely brutal.
Great either. So let me go ahead and start with the things I did like. I really like their take on some of the villains.
Oh my god. Double AA. You called it. If he likes the female penguin, then he's a fake fan. We've got confirmation. High CHD is a fake Batman fan. Holy crap. That 1 minute, 19 seconds in, and he's already invalidated himself.
Let's start with the things I did like. I really like their take on some of the villains. Finally looks like DC is listening to the fans when they say, hey, we're kind of getting a bit too much Joker. They're fine.
Okay. The problem was, we did get too much Joker, But obviously they weren't going to overuse him for this show, which they shouldn't, because then that would get really boring. But come on. What the hell? Taking a shot at the Joker, screw off. Listening to the fans, who wanted a tranny penguin? Nobody. But what he's trying to say is fans are sick and tired of Joker being so overused, which he technically is, but it's not that he's overused 100%, but it's so much how he's so misused.
It looks like they're finally starting to shed some light on a lot of Batman's lesser known villains. When it comes to the Penguin, I had saw her before the show came out, and initially I was a bit skeptical because I was like, why did they gender swap the Penguin? Seems a bit unnecessary, but ultimately it's just like, whatever, who cares?
Oh my God, it's whatever, who cares, don't think about it. Do not think about the Penguin, Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot, being gender swapped. What the bloody hell? Too much Joker. We could use more Kite Man. Oh, Christ. Don't remind me that show exists.
As long as she's a good villain, whatever, it's fine.
Her plan was absolutely freaking retarded. She just wanted to blow up the police station, and that was it.
Version of the Penguin was fucking awesome. And I'm not gonna lie.
Introducing Taco Bell's $3 steak burrito.
Ad, but at least I can skip it, and thank God it gives me a break from, because I swear to God, if he says something about how sexy she is, I am going to lose my damn mind. Bullshit.
Why she kind of bad though?
What? I did not understand a word you said.
It's fine. This version of the Penguin was fucking awesome. And I'm not gonna lie. Why she kind of bad though?
I did not. What did he? I do not know what the hell he just said. They could always give the Eraser. Again, the Eraser was an awesome villain that you could have used, but no, she isn't sexy at all. No, she isn't. Why is she kind of? That's what it sounds like, but honestly, she's a baddie. She's attractive to him. Well, I know what body pillow this guy hugs every night. But honestly, like, I'm not too up to date on my lingo, so but if he's seriously like willing to go down on someone like that,
clearly the head honcho. We get introduced to her, Oswalda, I think it is, and she's also like a performer. She's got that like real nice like charm to her, like you really want to hate her, but you can't help but like her type of vibe. She has
pretty sure nobody likes her because everybody would rather prefer Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. You know, the Penguin, the villain who's been around for about as long as Batman, for over 80 years.
the soft side, which they lean into with her being like the mother figure. Everybody who works for her calls her mama, right? So, and it's like,
that's just retarded. You don't see people calling, male gangsters daddy or anything like that. They could use Poison Ivy, but I think they turned her into a good... They would absolutely make Poison Ivy not only sympathetic, but they would paint her as somebody who totally is in the right to do what she does. It would totally be an X-Men Green situation, if anybody gets that reference. Fake fan. Cringe. Yeah, this is cringe.
again, she's running everything. So the henchman...
Okay, she runs everything. Yes, we got it. You want to know who also ran everything? Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of the Penguin being a crime boss. That's literally what Oswald Cobblepot has been for the longest time. I think ever since the post-crisis continuity, he's been a gangster who runs the Iceberg Lounge. Let villains be villains. They made all the villains look horrible. Absolutely. And considering that this is the Bruce Timm art style, you have to try to make them look horrible.
They're trying so hard to keep her pleased. But there's also that cold and like brutal side that we see. So essentially, she's trying to have an enemy of hers killed, Rupert Thorne, which is like the behind the.
That's supposed to be Rupert Thorne. I did not. He doesn't look like Rupert Thorne from what I know, and I've read. Yes, I have heard that Bruce Timm said that there weren't enough female villains, so he gender swapped the Penguin. Obviously, that's bullshit. But I have read the Steve Englehart Batman run, which Rupert Thorne debuts in, and I have seen Batman the Animated Series at least 3 freaking times. So I can say with good confidence that this is not Rupert Thorne in terms of design.
Scenes antagonist of the show. But one of the people that were working for her tipped him off for a paycheck. So he was able to essentially get out of that situation, and that ruined her whole operation. So she's interrogating a couple of her henchmen, and they're just so scared to the point where they're ratting each other out.
It had to be him.
Okay, but this sounds like the most basic of generic superhero plots. You know, bad guys trying to bump off another crime lord, but the crime lord has an insider who manages to rat him out. The bad guy gets angry and starts interrogating gang members, and the gang members turn on each other. Okay, that's standard and generic.
What? Come on, Ronnie's the one who's always saying crap behind your back.
Boys, Mama already knows which one of you it is.
But she kind of.
Oh my God. The fact that she says mama is so. What the hell did they do to the Penguin? Also, she's she is.
Boys.
Why is she so tall? Oswald Cobblepot is normally like pretty short. Like maybe around this, like up to her waist. Why is she so damn tall? Exactly, Darth Ghostface. She's so.
Boys, Mama already knows which one of you it is.
But she kind of just takes a random guess on which one who did it.
So she's a complete and total retard. Got it.
Has one of her guys stuff him into a suitcase and sink him to the bottom of the dock. And it's just like, that's fucking brutal, man. The worst part.
Honestly, you know what could have been more brutal? Having birds rip the guy limb from limb. I mean, it fits with the motif of the Penguin with freaking birds. Fake Batman with fake villains, fake Batman. Absolutely.
It is. He didn't even do it. It was the other guy. He also saw some villains like Clayface.
What they did to like, it's one thing if you want to reference and use the Golden Age Clayface, but they totally went about it the wrong way.
It was pretty refreshing not seeing him as like a giant goo monster. Just a regular guy who wanted to be some sort of like a famous actor but couldn't due to like how visually repulsive his face was. Made it.
Oh my gosh, that's literally, you couldn't even copy his original reason for being Clayface. This show could have been so much better if you just adapted Golden Age Batman. Am I right? That's retarded. Yes, it is.
To where he could like change his face so that he could look like anyone. He also.
Oh my gosh, you literally just ripped off Clayface from Batman the Animated Series. You didn't even try to be unique. The Batman from 2004 had a fresh take on Clayface and gave us one of the more tragic Clayfaces we've ever had. Probably even more tragic than the one from BTAS.
Saw some smaller villains like Onomatopoeia.
He's a Green Arrow villain, by the way. He's not a Batman villain.
I thought he was okay. He also saw Gentleman Ghost.
That's not Gentleman Ghost. What did they do to Gentleman Ghost? Why would you ruin such a great design with the original Gentleman Ghost? In fact, give me a second. Okay, give me the blah 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 blah. Oh no. Okay, here we go. This is Gentleman Ghost. Invisible head, white suit, acts like a gentleman. That's Gentleman Ghost. It's in the name. He's supposed to look like a ghost. This guy doesn't really look like a freaking ghost. This is what happens when Warner Brothers lets another company make a bootleg Batman show using the Batman licensing to make a bad show. This is the result of that.
Firebug. Catwoman was there.
It's not. Does Batman fight a guy named Firebug? I think he did. But he's in. Honestly, this has to be this is extremely generic. Come on, you guys weren't trying.
There too. I also really like Harvey Dent's story arc. How he went from being, this sort of charismatic DA, very charming.
Oh my gosh, they completely got Harvey Dent wrong in this show. Like, he's acting like a complete and total jackass, so you don't feel bad for him at all.
He's running for mayor, but the circumstances that he puts himself in, because, he's so desperate to win that he works with the bad guy, it ends up costing him. And
working with the bad guy because he's desperate to win mayor. Remember when Harvey Dent was literally an uncorruptible DA? When he was willing to do whatever it took to take down the mob? Apparently now he is just as easy to corrupt as everyone else.
He does get half of his face, burned off by some acid or whatever, because he double crosses the dude that he made the deal with. Starts to break down.
This doesn't even look. This isn't Two-Face. Like, what the hell is this design? What is this? This doesn't look like half his face is melted off. This looks like somebody just punched him in the half of his face a billion times. Like, come on, you didn't even try. That looks like shit. I agree, Dark Ghostface.
Mentally, more and more over time. He dies a hero, sacrificing himself to Barbara. Speaking of Barbara and Jim.
Oh, of course. Race swapped Barbara Gordon and Jim Gordon. A police commissioner in the a black police commissioner in the 1940s. You couldn't even try and be historically accurate. Come on.
They're actually pretty good. There are a lot of idiots.
They made Jim Gordon a moron. Oh, here we go. I think he's actually going to mention us.
Barbara and Jim. They're actually pretty good. There are a lot of idiots were bitching. Oh my God, why'd they have to turn them black? Huh? Why'd they have to be black? Why couldn't they just be white, man? The black people, they're taking all of our characters.
I mean, to be fair, we're not initially wrong in that aspect. How many characters have been race swapped? Hell, how many redheads have been race swapped? Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's that meme going around on the internet where someone put together a chart of every single redhead character in fiction who's been race swapped, where they show the original picture of what they're supposed to look like, and then they showcase what they look like now because of the race swapping. Warning, race card pulling incoming. Oh, I totally forgot. He loves to pull the race card. I think we're going to see him pull the race card again. How many videos? I've covered like what? 4? I think 4 or 5 of his videos at this point, and he freaking always pulls the race card. Always. Hashtag stop Gingerside.
Air race in this show is never brought up. Yet
It breaks immersion because this is set in the 1940s, you jackass.
yes, they are black, but I promise you, same as in the Matt Reeves movie, their color has no effect.
Well, first of all, the guy actually kind of looks like Jim Gordon, and at the very least, he could act worth a damn like Jim Gordon. All they did in Batman Caped Crusader was that they made him a retard.
On how they act. Gordon acts like Gordon.
No, he doesn't.
Barbara acts like Barbara.
No, she doesn't.
They often have conflicting morals in the show too.
I love how he's not even giving examples of how they act like themselves. I like how he's not really going into specific enough detail about, how does Barbara act like Barbara or how does Jim act like Jim? Because I guarantee you he knows shit about the characters from the comics.
Once because Jim thinks that criminals don't deserve second chances. He really takes the whole firm like once you commit a crime, you're a criminal stance. Barbara takes the more sincere approach. You see this throughout the show, like she genuinely tries to help some of the antagonists because she understands not everything is black and white. Now,
because of course we can't have a man be right. The woman always have to show up the man. I hate to break it to fans. I would say fans in quotation marks. But Commissioner Gordon and Barbara Gordon are white. They're more suitable as white characters than blacks. That's just how it is. I mean, you're spitting facts, dude. You're spitting facts. And blue. Okay, I've already seen that. Sorry, guys. I just got pinned on Okay, never mind. Got sidetracked for a bit because freaking ADHD.
I like the concept of what they were trying to do with Harley Quinn. The fact that she was a psychiatrist.
Oh, Christ. You couldn't even make her a freaking blonde. Come on. You had to make her look like she looks like I think she is fat. Like she doesn't have the Olympic level athletic figure that she's supposed to have. Yes, she's supposed to be an Olympic level athlete.
Psychiatrist, interacting with the main cast. This psychiatrist, but I don't know.
And that new costume looks like shit. They couldn't even try to make her costume look like the freaking red and black jester suit.
Did that pretty good. This design is fucking ass, bro.
Oh, for once, he actually has a decent take. This design sucks ass. Thank you. Finally. There's a small atom-sized ounce of common sense there.
What the fuck? And this is where I start getting into my criticisms of the show. The clown side of her character kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. Obviously.
Kinda? No, it does suck. Objectively. There's no subjectiveness to it. Broken clock moment for high CHD. Whenever I get the moment when things finally slow down and I can finally focus on my channel again, like really focus on it, I'll have to find a broken clock clip. Wow, he actually has a brain. Or he actually remembered to put it in today. Remember when Bruce Timm wanted Batman and Batgirl together? I think that was... Yeah, it is in the Lego Batman movie, but Barbara is like the same age as Batman, so it's a lot better there. But yeah, Bruce Timm really let his fanship drive him. He said a reasonable take. You should collab with him. Yeah, when pigs fly.
I get that they're trying to go for like the cold and calculated demeanor. They kind of wanted to introduce a sort of like inverse approach to Harley Quinn. My thing is, that's kind of the problem. I feel like a core part of Harley Quinn is how expressive and how flamboyant she is. Here, she's just kind of dead, to say the least. And obviously, a highlight of
To be fair, everyone in this show acts freaking dead.
show, like obviously I said, like this kind of minimizes Joker's involvement, but you also have Harley Quinn here. So without the Joker, like there's really no reason why she's doing what she's doing. And we're
Oh my gosh, he actually wishes that Joker had some involvement with Harley Quinn's development. Holy freaking crap. Holy freaking crap, guys.
never really told that in the show either. And this is an issue I have with a couple of the characters, is that they're not super fleshed out. So she's torturing these people down here for no reason. She gets caught by Batman, almost dies, and then she just leaves.
Batman did shit in this episode. He just gets knocked out by Harley Quinn, and Barbara Gordon spends like a vast majority of the time trying to bust him out when he gets captured. He did shit.
Leaves town. Like, what?
More ads.
This is not just a problem that I have with Harley. Renee Montoya was actually a character that started out with a lot of potential.
And of course, they had to make her freaking overweight because why not? Bucking ads. Okay.
When I was actually interested, but then she just got more and more forgettable throughout the series because they didn't flesh her out. So she just ended up being this character who was just
She
kind of
doesn't even look that attractive from like a side profile, at least in my opinion.
there. And this kind of leads into my main issue with the show. And that would be like 60% of the time I was watching it. It was boring as fuck.
Why the hell does Batman have a gun? I mean, it was obviously the reason they gave Batman a gun was cheap bait for people thinking this show was going to adapt the Golden Age version of the character, but we didn't get that. Because if you know your Golden Age Batman, you would know he used to have a gun. He never shot it at anybody, but he actually did have a gun. He had a gun.
There are definitely pacing issues, especially in the first half of the show. A lot of emphasis on the good of you
let's skip it
and not Batman. Batman himself, and it's just first and not Batman. Batman himself, I feel, could have used a bit more presence. There was definitely a lot of emphasis on the side characters. When he was there, he did his job for the most part. You know, he was okay. The character writing with Bruce.
The character writing for Batman was freaking atrocious in this show. World's Greatest Detective, my ass. This guy constantly keeps getting beaten up by everybody. Sup, boys? Was just finishing a mecha anime from Hulu. Hey, Khalil, welcome to the stream. We are once again visiting High CHD when he covered Batman Caped Crusader. And for the most part, he actually had a broken clock moment. He actually had a decent take. Fancy that. Fancy that.
Bruce is definitely on point for the most part. When he's butting heads with Alfred, that was pretty common, especially early on in his career.
The very way he treats Alfred in this show is so unlike Batman or unlike Bruce Wayne that I'm convinced that they've never read a Batman comic into... this guy's take on this show is hilarious. Yeah, it is hilarious for the most part.
Covered him being extremely cold-hearted to everyone around him due to his childhood trauma. It did develop Bruce and Alfred's relationship. You know, you see this at the end where he stops calling him Pennyworth and starts calling him Alfred.
Batman would never be cold-hearted to Alfred. Not like that, you moron. Pick up a damn comic book and read it one day.
And seeing how we got to that point was like, okay, this is some pretty solid character development. Alfred's
okay, explain how.
showing that he was legit willing to die for him during the ghost fight, I think opened Bruce's eyes a bit. So that was pretty heartwarming to see. Like most other elements in this show, the voice acting and the animation, again, not terrible, but definitely not all that great. So,
and considering that this is DC, which have given us some of the greatest vocal performances and greatest animation of all time, that is freaking unexcusable. The argument scene from Arkham, that is way, way better than this. Yay, Batman Caped Crusader. Another show where Bruce Timm gets to continue his fanships. When are they eventually going to fire that idiot? Or finally reel him back in? Back then, Batman TV shows used to be made by people who are huge fans of Batman. Bruce treated Alfred like family, like a father figure. Absolutely. And at no point would he treat Alfred the way he does in this show. But obviously, these people have never, ever, done any research.
don't expect any high-tier animation or voice acting going into it.
Abbreviation. Monoscope Pictures Wardrobe. Our killer has access to the studio.
Like I said before,
Wow, that looks bland as all hell. Now it's made by people who hate Batman because Batman is a white heterosexual male who's rich and beats up criminals.
it's supposed to be kind of like the successor to Batman the Animated Series.
How? I have legit explain to me, how is Batman Caped Crusader supposed to be a spiritual successor? I mean, technically we had the new Batman Adventures, which was a continuation of BTAS, even though it wasn't called BTAS anymore. He sounds like he's imitating Kevin Conroy. I guess Alfred has been eating all of Bruce's breakfast, lunch, and dinner all at once. Most likely.
And comparing it to that, the objective opinion seems to be that it doesn't measure up. As its own thing, it doesn't really measure up either. It's not an inherent problem of the show.
No, it is an inherent problem with the show. And freaking, you wasted Catwoman's, like, one of her best designs. That is a crime in and of itself. Yes, it is. Caped Crusader is supposed to be in a separate universe, so I don't understand where people are saying this is supposed to be a successor.
It's already something that's just been done before, and it's been done better. So it's just like, I don't know. Something, when you look at the broader...
You had... It was all laid out for you. Adapt Golden Age Batman and show him becoming Batman. You know, he finally stops killing criminals. He gets Robin. He eventually marries Selena Kyle, and he has Helena Wayne, who goes on to become the Huntress. You could have split that up against over multiple seasons, and that would have been gold. Mecha G75, unfortunate but true. Welcome to the stream, Mecha G75. From what I read, the people working on it used to work on Batman the Animated Series and admitted that they wanted to do stories that couldn't be done without censorship. Is that what they wanted to do for this show? Because it really doesn't feel like it.
Super media out there, again, this is just something that would be classified as average. It's not bad.
No, it would be classified as hot freaking garbage.
Right? For a lot of people, average is fine. You know, not every superhero movie or show needs to be an acid trip. Sometimes you just want to show up and see Batman kicking ass. That's
which he barely does in this show.
Perfectly fine. I guess it's okay if you're a Batman fan, more so classic Batman. Certainly not.
No, if you're a Batman fan, you're going to be freaking pissed at this. If you are a real Batman fan, you would freaking hate this show. I mean, I hate it.
Terrible, but it's not great either. For me, it's mid. There's things I like about it, but overall, I can't really bring myself to say it's like a great show.
Just come out and admit it's shit then.
I just can't. It's just okay for me anyways. Anyways, y'all, that's gonna be
well, that was terrible. High CHD just simply cannot admit that show is shit. I hate it. Yeah, AA8, that's again. Fat Alfred looks like Commissioner Gordon from Tim Burton's Batman. All right. Oh. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, guys. Got a bit distracted because I have Discord open for some reason. Okay. Moving on to the next one, and this one's a bit longer. Oh shoot! What was? Okay, never mind, guys. Okay, let's move on to the next video. He can't admit it's shit because he's a shill. Yeah, he is. Actually, you want to know who is a shill? Like a bona fide shill? Welcome to the stream for the very first time, Serum Lake. Batman Caped Crusader is everything I wanted, almost. And guess what? Guess what? Come on, work with me here. Why are you not working with me? Oh, that's why. Okay, I had that open. Video description. I was very fortunate to be added to Amazon's PR list. PR list. This guy was on Amazon's list, people. Never heard of this person. Wouldn't blame you, Darth Ghostface. Okay, let's dive into it. Shill access. Shill access. I think this is the first time I'm covering somebody who has shill access. Somebody that hasn't been covered before. This is a first for me.
Repentant superfan of Batman the Animated Series. I think that like-minded people will want to know how the new Batman show, Batman Caped Crusader, stacks up to that legendary cartoon. I won't beat about the bush. I really enjoyed it, and it compares favorably. But it wasn't.
No, it does not. You didn't even waste a single second, and you immediately invalidated you exposed yourself as a fake Batman fan, Serum Lake. You don't deserve that profile picture of Batman standing on the rooftop. What are the odds? Yeah, somebody who's on Amazon's list loves Batman Caped Crusader and thinks it stacks up to the legend that is the original Batman the Animated Series.
Quite what I was expecting based on some of the press releases from the last couple of months. I was expecting the show to be very similar to Batman the Animated Series with tragic...
Dude, there's no way it would have stacked up to Batman the Animated Series.
Villains defined by loss, wallowing in despair. And there are elements of that, but for the most part, the villains of this show are not tragic figures. They're selfish, they're arrogant, they are vain, and any struggles they face are a direct result of their own behavior. I also thought it was...
They're all retards, that's why.
Going to have more extreme content. After all, the TV broadcast regulations of the 1990s were far more strict than the world of online streaming platforms in the 2020s. But I found Caped Crusader to be quite tame in comparison. Yes, people die, some of them in horrible ways, but there are no scenes that are as harrowing as the most frightening moments from Batman the Animated Series.
Because these people cannot understand how to freaking write to save their lives. Every YouTuber making videos like these are yelling, "Notice me, senpai! I need clout!" Chill!
I think the creative team took a long, hard look at what worked well in Batman the Animated Series and decided when to compete with it and when not to.
No, I think they took a big, hard, long look at the shit they took this morning, and they're like, I think I'll use that in Batman the Animated... I think I'll use this in Batman the Caped Crusader today, because there is no way anything that came from Batman the Animated Series could have possibly stacked up to this. They took no lessons. Wait a minute, I've seen. Holy crap, Mecha G75. You've seen this video before? A fake fan, hashtag authentic. We have a fake DC fan on our hands, folks.
The first thing that leapt out at me is the music. It's far more subtle than I was expecting, and clearly doesn't attempt to compete with the work of the late Shirley Walker and her band of composers. If anything, the music is a clear homage to the work of Bernard Herrmann, the composer that worked on Alfred Hitchcock movies. While Danny Elfman's theme for Batman the Animated Series was loud and bombastic, Frederick Weidman's theme is softer and more suggestive. There are villain themes, but they weren't really that distinct. I couldn't hum, say, Harley Quinn's theme in the same way that Shirley Walker's work echoes through my mind.
So already you're showcasing that everything in this show is inferior, even the music. Thank you. Also, this is co-produced by J.J. Abrams. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. I thought he left the project, though. Did he stay on for it, Q-Wheel? You'll have to let me know.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, mind you. Similarly, the show is less vibrant and emotional. Take the title sequence for
Less vibrant and emotional. Okay, right there, you're already showcasing that this show is shit. You're not doing a very good job at defending your precious show here. It sucked back then, and it sucked forever.
For instance, rather than being a standalone piece of animation, it's more of a gallery of shots from the episodes, separated by lingering shots of the beautiful background paintings in sepia tones. Having said that, there are some obvious similarities to Batman the Animated Series. They do reuse a few key shots from that show, and in
Key jingling. Guys, remember the iconic lightning scene?
there are some obvious similarities to Batman the Animated Series. They do reuse a few key shots.
Remember Batman the Animated Series? Harley Quinn in this show without Joker is like Dick, Jason, Tim, and Damian become Robin without Batman. I mean, to be fair, if we go by the New 52 with what they did to Tim Drake, bullshit.
From that show, and in one episode, every headline in a newspaper that Batman combs through is a direct reference to episodes of Batman the Animated Series. See if you can spot them all.
Boo. I don't want this kind of nostalgia bait. If I wanted to see this kind of stuff, I'd rather go watch Batman the Animated Series, which is far superior outside of a couple of episodes. Justice League Action did the lightning shot better. I haven't seen that show yet, but I'll put it on the list. Key jingling.
I feel like the writers on the show really went out of their way to subvert expectations, while also
Oh no! Subverting expectations. Who let Ryan Johnson into the writer's room? Get him out of there! Get him out of there!
trying to stay true to the spirit of Batman, particularly how
No. They did not stay true to the spirit of Batman. Not even the Golden Age Batman. Shut up.
he was depicted in the early comic books. And it is kind of ironic that they managed to make the show feel new and fresh by revisiting 80-year-old comic books.
What? What the hell? Are you saying that this show would have been better with... What? Are you saying that Batman the Animated Series, using material from the comics, is old and outdated, even back when it first aired? Subvert expectations. I haven't heard of that before. What the hell? Like, what does that mean?
Kind of ironic that they managed to make the show feel new and fresh by revisiting 80-year-old comic books.
What? So are you going to be another one of those idiots who says that we shouldn't have to see the same story play out over and over again? That we should not have to adhere to the comics? Because if that's the case, you're a fake Batman fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. You've already exposed yourself as one. Oh God, an authentic Batman. No.
Of course, that doesn't mean that they threw out everything that had worked previously. Producers Bruce
Yes, they did. Bruce Timm just does not have what it takes anymore. In fact, I don't think he ever really had what it takes outside of being a good artist.
Tim and James Tucker made quite a big deal about how different their Batman was. This Batman deliberately breaks bones and dangles corrupt city officials in front of oncoming trains, but he was very
Oh my gosh, we've seen Batman break bones before. At least every Batman fan who has ever breathed has played Batman Arkham. Unauthentic Batman shouldn't be vile towards Alfred. Coming from someone who hasn't read a single comic, poop this man. Wait, coming from who? Have you not read have you not read a single Batman comic, Khalil? What the hell happened to Bruce Timm? His shipping happened to him. That's what.
Recognizably Batman.
And dangling villains in front of trains. Dude, Arkham Batman dangled guys off of buildings. He dangled Mayor Sharp off a building in Arkham City. This is nothing new. Don't you mean Buddhist man? No, I was burned. Okay. I see what you mean. Sorry, Khalil.
Even their Bruce Wayne, described by Bruce Timm as weird and a facade, wasn't that different to what we'd seen before. There was one shot in the first episode where Bruce joins a party at the Iceberg Lounge and puts on the biggest, most awkward fake smile ever. That genuinely made me laugh. Likewise,
And of course, you don't show that scene.
when he cracks a joke to Barbara Gordon and doesn't get the reaction he expected, he strolls over to another group of partygoers, making the same joke with the exact same inflection. It's almost like it was a second take for him. This time, he got the result he wanted. His interactions with the people he considers his friends and allies as Bruce Wayne, people like Harvey Dent, Leslie Tompkins, and Lucius Fox, are far more natural, and the facade.
Far more natural? What? Dude, no, they aren't. In fact, Bruce Wayne isn't really Bruce Wayne in this show either. Arkham Batman also shoved people's faces into electric panels. Yeah, he did. He was not a gentle guy. Oh, goody, a 21-year-old Barbara Gordon. Honestly, actually, Barbara was like close to Bruce's age in when she originally debuted. It's not that I have an issue with Barbara and Bruce, but the thing is, you have to. It's really tricky to make the writing work. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people, if anyone, can really pull it off.
Slips, but again, I don't want to suggest that this show retreads old ground.
That's basically what you are saying they do.
Definitely more violence in this series. People get shot, some of them fatally, but it's never graphic. The staging of the fight scenes is very clear, but it avoids being too flashy. I don't feel like there were ever any...
Oh my god. You say this literally, like, that fight scene just looked like something almost out of Batman the Animated Series.
Shots that really blew me away. There's no Batman being dragged through the Gotham City night sky with the camera arcing around a police blimp. In fact, there aren't even any police blimps. No, it feels like it was made by a team that was fully confident in their abilities and that they didn't need to use visual tricks to impress the audience.
So, no visual tricks, huh? So basically, this show looks flat and boring because they can't even bother to be creative. Got it.
Instead, they focused on clarity. Of course, I would have loved to have seen a scene that rivaled the animation in the Batman the Animated Series episode.
We never would have seen that.
Play Part 2. But what we got was consistent and high quality.
No, it wasn't.
The trailers made me think that we'd get some flashy editing techniques that resembled comic book panels, but that was only used in the trailer. While I was a little...
Congratulations, bait and switch. Got it.
Disappointed initially, upon reflection, this was the right choice. At least this way, the audience always knows where to look. Hearing all this about the animation...
Oh my god, you're acting as if the audience can't track... Dude, the Spider-Verse did it, and people love those movies, as horrible as they are. The animation in Clayface is so good. There's actually a ton of great moments of animation in Batman the Animated Series. Mad Hatter actually gets some really good bits of animation. I should know, I'm probably the #1 biggest Mad Hatter fan in the world.
May disappoint some people, but I think there's a beauty in how straightforward it is. There are very few obvious budget-saving tricks used, and the animation is consistently good. As much as I loved X-Men 97, I found they...
Oh, bloody hell, of course he loved X-Men 97. Gosh darn it.
Use of extreme close-ups to save on having to animate the mouths moving a little distracting after a while. but there's very little of that here. Only one sequence comes to mind off the top of my head, when a frustrated Harvey Dent throws a snow globe of Gotham City at a framed poster, smashing the glass. Rather than showing the glass breaking, the shot lingers on Dent and we hear the glass break. There are bound to be others, but they are less noticeable to me.
So what? People can't use animation. So for people to, appease you, you don't want them to use tricks to save on animation and money? Dude, I'd rather they do that and be creative. I encourage creativity. I haven't watched X-Men 97. Don't. If you've seen the original show, don't watch 97. They really ruin a lot of characters. The animation for every B-Test episode was reportedly $500,000 to $750,000. The show looks like it was made for less than that. Yeah, it absolutely looks like it. It looks a lot cheaper.
When it comes to the cast, there isn't a weak performance in the whole bunch.
There is. I have heard the Batman voice for this show, and he cannot act to save his life.
Learned that the actors recorded their lines in isolation during the COVID lockdowns, I feared that some of the performances may come across a little flat. Batman,
and they do. Also, that guy totally was a stripper. He actually flat out admitted he was a stripper. I wonder why a lot of people think X-Men 97 is a good show then. Nostalgia bait. Getting paid. You name it. Strange that Harvey Dent was voiced by Brave and the Bold Bat. No! Don't drag him into it! No! Why?
The animated series famously got their cast together in person to record their dialogue so that the actors could react to each other, making their performances more natural. But this was a needless concern. Hamish Linklater as Batman sounds how Batman should sound. He's very
No, he doesn't.
Clearly influenced by the late Kevin Conroy, as most Batman actors have been and likely always will be.
He sounds nothing like Kevin Conroy in the show. What are you talking about?
But there's a detached quality to him, with very little warmth. I know that some people had expressed concern that the show was going to be too grim, dark, and serious, but there are moments of comedy. Catwoman's episode in particular has many funny and absurd moments. For instance,
oh god, they absolutely ruined Catwoman in this show.
Catwoman's Catmobile with the massive cat face on the front, complete with glowing eyes and an engine that literally purrs, is a highlight, as is Selena Kyle's performance in court when she's caught for the first time. Likewise, Onomatopoeia's fight with Batman genuinely made me laugh out loud in a couple of places. Seriously, pow, is all I need to say about that. The thing that...
Oh my god. Strange that you're not really giving examples either. Like, you didn't give an example for Batman's voice. You didn't give examples of good actual moments. You didn't show anything. You just told us. Almost as if the show is complete and total shit and you're trying to save face as much as you can.
I find most striking about the show is that, although it clearly exists in a world with a 1940s aesthetic, it's just that, an aesthetic.
Hey, Sterling.
The ads, man. I hate these ads.
Attention to detail or is aesthetic. It's just that, an aesthetic. There's no slavish attention to...
Every DCAU actor always recorded their lines together to mimic the old radio plays of 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Yeah, and guess what? You got some freaking amazing performances. I tried to do voice acting, and I sound like either Affleck or Caped Crusader false man. Ouch.
Detail or references to the prevailing morality of the time. They never even say what year it is. This is a city with oversized props like the massive...
Okay, then what's the point of using the 1940s if you're not going to go all in?
Umbrella atop of the Iceberg Lounge. Weird science, a face-altering serum, electrified knuckle dusters, and the supernatural, a life-force-draining vampire and the ghost of an 18th century highwayman. It's also a city that's overrun with corruption and citizens plagued with relatable issues. And they all...
Okay, we've seen that in Batman before.
...all coexist seamlessly. Some had expressed concern about the diverse cast as a cynical cash grab, although that felt like a bad faith argument to me.
Oh, of course! Of course he's going to argue that it's bad faith. This is 1939. Oh my god. Of course, he's going to say it's a bad faith argument, but he's not going to go into too much detail because he doesn't want to get ripped apart.
I don't really get that complaint. Most of these characters' ethnicity is not a key component of their character, so
there's a thing called recognizable on sight. These characters have been around for 80 years. People by now are accustomed to what these characters look like. So yeah, their race kind of plays a bit of a deal into it, you moron.
are no issues with making Commissioner Gordon African American, for instance.
Yes, there is. When you set him in 1939.
There's no segregation in Gotham. People are free to love who they want to love without discrimination. There's no reference to the looming threat of war overseas. And they don't.
1940. Then what's the point of the 1940s aesthetic outside of key jingling and baiting us?
Make a big song and dance about it because it isn't set in the 1940s. The world just shares the look and the technology of that time period.
Then why? Then if it shares the look of the 1940s, then it's set in the 1940s. I don't know what's hard to grasp about that. This is the first time I hear of Caped Crusader. Well,
people of color exist, and some of them have a position of authority. Some
they shouldn't, not in 1940.
Characters are homosexual. There are women in the workplace.
Oh, Christ, Harley Quinn. Why can we not have a Harley Quinn who loves the Joker anymore? Why does she always have to be freaking homosexual? Come on.
And it's not a big deal.
But yes, it is. People are sick and tired of a gay Harley Quinn. People are sick and tired of forced diversity. You're just being an ignoramus. Shove that in your anus. They said 1940s aesthetic, but it looks like early 2000s. Kind of does in some places.
I'm not making a song and dance out of the fact that Commissioner Gordon is African American or Harleen Quinzel is a queer Asian American. The show normalizes their existence, which is
no, it doesn't. It completely fails in every regard. Oh my God.
How it should be handled. And if it makes you uncomfortable, I'd ask that you take a few moments to think about just why that is.
Okay. Okay, buddy. Breathe in and breathe out. Which guy? Serum Lake or me? Okay. So I'm surprised High CHD didn't really play the race card this time. But this guy,
The show normalizes their existence, which is how it should be handled. And if it makes you uncomfortable, I'd ask that you take a few moments to think about just why that is.
Oh, there we go, guys. He's implying that if you have a problem with Harley Quinn being Asian or Commissioner Gordon being black, you're a racist. He's implying it. He's trying to be subtle, but, we caught it. We have it live on camera. Okay. I see how it is. Oh, that is absolutely hilarious.
If you're looking for a historically accurate program about the USA in the 1940s, this is not the show for you. And frankly, you shouldn't be looking to get your historical education from a fictional program. No.
Nobody is doing that, you idiot. What? What are you talking about? People want a Batman show that, if you're going to set it in the 1940s and use a 1940s aesthetic, then you should abide by the rules set at the time. It's called immersion for a reason. What the crap?
This show is more about how we respond to pain and loss. It's the start of Batman's story of growth and dealing with his trauma through the act of helping people. It's Harvey Dent's blind ambition and how his pride led to his downfall. It's how our own sense of self-worth can be tied up in inconsequential things. It's about the corruption that has taken root in Gotham City at every level and how good people, like the Gordons, try to make a difference.
Here we go.
Now, if you're a long-time subscriber to my channel, then you're probably waiting for me to start talking about the villains. Note that I will produce more in-depth videos on each of the villains, costumed or otherwise, but the quick general...
Yep, he has already actually started doing that on his channel. He wants to get nuts. Let's get nuts. For the record, Batman 89 had a 1930. Okay, official raid blitz into chat, everybody. The Ahsoka simp is here. For the record, Batman 89 has a 1930s aesthetic, and by the Schumacher films, same canon as the Burton films, had a 90s look. During Batman Returns, we started to see statues in Gotham. It doesn't quite have the 1930s look. We do have like old time. We do have like it. Honestly, it kind of still has a bit of that 90s look to it because you have like old 90s computer monitors and cameras and stuff in there. You do have technology there.
Summary is that these villains are not tragic figures. They're deeply flawed people, and the majority only appear in one episode each. Although characters like Dr. Harleen Quinzel and Harvey Dent are recurring characters. The Penguin is the first villain we meet in the series, and they've made some bold choices with this version of the character that will
bold choices that absolutely nobody liked.
Take some people by surprise. The Penguin is another character that presents one face to the world, but they are truly a horrific person that doesn't care about the health and safety of others.
Seen that before 100 times. Nothing new. Don't try to act like this is something we haven't seen before. Shut the hell up.
And their family members. Clayface crops up in the second episode, and this was one character that I was keenly anticipating. I think they were quite wise in not even trying to compete with Ron Perlman's seminal version of the character, and Clayface is a great example of the show being less emotional. Batman the Animated Series Clayface was a tragic figure that audiences felt sorry for. Their Clayface, however, delights in his new form. An early press release said he was motivated by a desire for revenge, but that's not...
Okay, so we shouldn't... So the show's trying to be less emotional, so we just shouldn't care? I mean, sure, if you want to go for a full-on action show, you can do that. The Batman did that for the most part. Lore Master Chris, welcome to the chat. Female Penguin is everything I wanted. Oh, God. That's certainly what this guy would say.
Not quite the full truth. He's lashing out against past rejection and loving every second of his newfound power. Catwoman, meanwhile, is a flighty, light-hearted thief that steals in response to the loss of her family's fortune after her father was sent to prison for tax evasion. She doesn't really harm people, but Gotham wants to harm her.
Oh, God, they made her a victim. But what exactly is bad about Caped Crusader? I saw a trailer for it. It looks interesting and added new spins on the characters. Okay, we've got another fake one. Okay, I've already broke down a lot of what is wrong with Caped Crusader. Unnecessary race swaps. Butchering classic characters. Less death. The timeless aesthetic for Batman? No. They're trying to go for a 1940s Batman, which is not a bad idea, but it's not 100% timeless. The animation is a definite downgrade, and the writing is just overall shit. And how Batman should be. Yeah, shut the hell up, Official Raid Blitz. You've already proven more than enough times that you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about when it comes to Star Wars, and have proven you're a fake Star Wars fan. Now you pretty much showcase you know nothing about Batman. Congratulations, you humiliated yourself once again. Considering the animation, of course, the characters don't have any emotion. The show was horrible. It wasn't even a decent Batman adaptation. It's not even mid. This is straight up ass. Beware the Batman is better than you. And everyone forgets that show exists. Everybody forgets that show exists.
Firebug is a weak, meager man who becomes empowered in the presence of flames. But without...
Congratulations. Wait. Who is he?
Firebug is a weak...
Oh, no, it's Firebug. Give me a second to look him up. Oh, shit. You actually had to take one of the villains I actually liked from the Bronze Age? Are you kidding me? This is what Firebug is supposed to look like, chat. This is him from the Bronze Age of comics. That is way better than whatever the shit he has here. What the? Why? You couldn't even try. You didn't even try to give him his color scheme. I owe Batman and Robin an apology. We all do. I'm a fake Star Wars fan, yet I actively read the EU and play the video games regularly. Considering the fact that you threw a complete and total shit fit about Legacy of the Force, yeah, screw you, dude. And also, you tried to defend TCW on the regular. Yeah, nice try, idiot. We've already caught you numerous times. You pretend. You got humiliated on Star Wars Scrans' trait. You got humiliated in Star Wars Scrans' Discord server. I told you they made the villains look stupid. This is not even close to a bad show. No, this is a shit show. You also defend Dave Filoni, who has been bastardizing George Lucas Star Wars before Disney bought Star Wars. And I remind you, Karen Travis killed Mara Jade without Timothy Zahn's consent. You do know that the consent had to come from George, right? Not Zahn. Nice try, idiot. Zahn wasn't even involved with the creation of New Jedi Order. He wasn't involved with that book series. What the hell? Mara Jade is Zahn's. Mara Jade is a part of Star Wars. George Lucas gets to decide the fate of her character. And George approved her getting killed off. So shut up. She died. George approved of it. Get over it. It doesn't matter if Zahn got consent or not. God.
Meager man who becomes empowered in the presence of flames. But without his flamethrower, he's nothing. Less than nothing in some ways. Harley Quinn, meanwhile, targets the wealthy elites of Gotham. After learning their secrets as their psychiatrist, Harley Quinn tortures and brainwashes her targets into giving away their wealth before ending their own lives.
Okay, what does that have to do with the clown aesthetic? And honestly, this sounded like a variation of Enigma's plan from Batman Arkham Origins. Ray Blitz is also a fan of the pedophile shill JJ plagiarisms. That tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, I've seen him over there a couple of times. Absolutely. I have you in my sights, official Ray Blitz. I still remember when I absolutely tore apart your now deleted video defending Disney Star Wars. Can't escape Star Wars conversation now. No, apparently I cannot escape Star Wars even for one stream. For the record, Vergere being a Sith contradicts her character in New Jedi Order. She wasn't established as a Sith, more so she was a Jedi who had a unique... There is no light or dark. Gonna have to go talk to OG Star Wars, but I'm pretty sure she already tore you apart on that. Because I'm pretty sure Vergere was never... I don't think Vergere was a Sith, but then again, I would have to go double check with OG because I would trust her more than I would ever trust you.
There was a lot of excitement for Onomatopoeia when he was featured in the first trailer for the show, and he does have a substantial part in an episode as a hitman that's brought to Gotham to assassinate a prominent citizen.
Seriously? Onomatopoeia was the one villain everybody was hyped for? Really? I mean, okay. I mean, he has a decent design. I don't 100% hate it, but still.
Onomatopoeia is mute for the most part, but communicates through sound effect noises, hence the name. He has a group of assistants to back him up and do most of the talking, and some of these scenes are a genuine delight. As much as the early episodes of Batman the Animated Series had a firm no supernatural characters rule, Caped Crusader embraces...
That was the movie, not an episode.
...is the supernatural. Case in point, the Gentleman Ghost is unambiguously a ghost of an 18th century highwayman. The other supernatural character, Nocturna, is driven by her insatiable appetite for people's life force. Then we have Two-Face. Clear comparisons are made between Barbara Gordon, in this show a public defender assigned to people that can't afford their own lawyer, and Harvey Dent, the district attorney that does favors for the rich elites. Yes.
Yeah, you already ruined Harvey Dent before you even tried. Alora from OG Star Wars knows more about Star Wars than any Disney Star Wars fan does. He looks like Spot from Across the Spider. Of course he would. Where he intended unifying force to be the end of the EU. Are you talking about James Lucino? Dude, James Lucino doesn't get to decide when the expanded universe ends. He doesn't get to decide that. If there's more expanded universe material, there's more expanded universe material. And guess what? There's more expanded universe material beyond the unifying force. The Legacy comics. God.
He bends the rules for his wealthy friends, but he draws the line at outright criminality. That is ultimately what leads to his downfall. He compromises his core belief.
This design of Two-Face is shit, chat. Like, look, they didn't even bother to make it a different color. It's not gray. It's not purple. It's not even freaking pink. Legacy comics are fine as an epic. No, they're straight up canon. You also have, Legacy of the Force, Fate of the Jedi. So, yeah. Did you cover the Lego gaming? No, I'm going to cover that right after this video. Fake Two-Face. Fake face. I'd almost say false face, but no, false face is awesome. Cross current and Riptide are grade 2. Shut. Honestly, just stop it, Official Ray Blitz. You've already been humiliated enough times as a fake Star Wars fan. So stop trying to pretend like you've earned your place among us. You got hauled out of the fandom a long time ago.
In order to succeed, and when he tries to back out, he pays a price.
He doesn't.
Caped Crusader's Two-Face.
He's not even wearing the 2-layered suit. He's not even wearing the 2-colored costume. What the hell? Two-Face's design in Batman Forever looks better than this shit show. Forever! Take the L. It would have been nice to see stuff like Sword of the Jedi. Okay, moving back to Batman, because need I remind you, I activated defendant Matt Wilkins from Dark Nova and his goons, or did you forget that? I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, but it doesn't matter. Your actions from the past do not defend you now. You tried to defend Dave Filoni. I still remember you made that video trying to defend him, even with his the stuff he made for Disney Star Wars. You constantly keep throwing hissy fits over the expanded universe. You keep trying to rationalize TCW as a part of the expanded universe. So no, you do not belong, Official Ray Blitz. Nothing you say or do is going to bring you back unless you completely reject Filoni and understand that TCW cannot be a part of the expanded universe. You cannot. Filoni fables are just as bad as the Disney shows. Yep. Official Ray Blitz has to be one of the worst Filoni fables we've got to deal with.
Isn't obsessed with duality and chance. Instead, he feels as though he's been wronged by the mob. Crusader's Two-Face isn't obsessed with duality, and when he tries to back out, he pays a price. Caped Crusader's Two-Face isn't obsessed with duality.
He's not obsessed with duality? That's Two-Face's whole gimmick! Two-Face's whole gimmick is... Two-Face's gimmick is duality. That's why he has the damn coin. Okay, how do you reconcile the mention Mortis in Fate of the Jedi Den? Oh, buddy, you should not have asked, because my good friend Alora from OG Star Wars put it perfectly when she quoted this. Oh, you are screwed, dude. Let's see if I can. Give me a second to search it up, because you just have to keep digging it. You just have to keep digging yourself into this hole. Okay, Bubba. Yeah, no. Christian Taylor. We can't be definitive because it is Mortis, and nothing on Mortis can be trusted or believed. And they never explicitly reference anything from the Mortis arc going on. And as for Darth Maul's backstory and Darth Plagueis, you can literally cut that chapter out and bada bing, bada boom. It doesn't change the story. So screw you. What about the EU material Karen Travis puts into her Clone Wars books? Like Jabin being mentioned, no prisoners. Considering that those are still TCW tie-in material, those don't count as canon because guilty by association, and that's literally just them trying to reconcile TCW with the EU, but it fails because TCW breaks canon in every single way.
Chance. Instead, he feels as though he's been wronged by the mob, that his life was taken from him unjustly. The corruption within Gotham runs too deep, and the only way to clear it out, in his mind, is through violence. And then,
okay, that doesn't really sound like that. You could have Two-Face be duality obsessed and still have him go after the mob. You had that in BTAS. TCW was greenlit by George Lucas. I hope you realize that even though it was greenlit by him, it can't be canon because it breaks canon with his movies. Nice try. Sayonara. Get it. You're out of the fandom.
there are villains that don't wear fancy costumes or have weird gimmicks. People like Rupert Thorne or detectives Flass and Bullock.
Oh my god, they made Bullock a villain? Why? Bullock is an incredibly awesome character. Can you elaborate? Oh, I could. But this is a Batman focused stream. Get your mind out of TCW. I know it lives rent free in your head, but break out. We're talking about Batman. Do you think the new Lego Batman game will be woke? Doesn't look like it. I don't think it will be. You have the rainbow Batman costume, but that's a reference to an outfit he wore in the 1950s. I'll let my chat continue to rip you apart, Official Rave Blitz.
And I think there may be a little fan backlash in response to this show's depiction of Harvey Bullock, a character who, while rough around the edges, was a beloved fan favourite. In this series, he is an unrepentant monster. While most episodes can be enjoyed as standalone stories, there are a couple of subplots that run throughout the series. Jim Gordon's struggle with the corruption within the police department and City Hall, Harvey Dent's mayoral campaign, Bullock and Flass's rapid descent into criminality, and Alfred's feelings of guilt. There's so much more to say about
Ugh, this is just all so bad. Rainbows used to be cool. Absolutely.
Caped Crusader, but ultimately what you want to know is if it's worth your time. Undoubtedly, yes.
Undoubtedly, no.
I'm going to be talking about Caped Crusader a lot more in future videos, but let's
What the shit happened to Bruce Timm?
close things out by saying that this series gets a strong recommendation from me.
And nobody will follow that recommendation because it is revealed that you are a fake Batman fan. Get out of here, Serum Lake. Off to the barren deserts. They still are. No, not really. Not anymore. Woke, mentally ill freaks have made the rainbow uncool. All right. Now I want to talk about what was recently announced. The Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight series. Now, I've already seen the trailer, so I'm probably going to break it down like what I've seen and what I've had pointed out to me. I'm not actually going to do fake reactions or anything like that. And I'm just going to give my honest thoughts throughout. Okay, let's go. And I pray to God that I don't get copyright claimed for this. Honestly, that looked like Commissioner Gordon rather than Alfred because of the mustache. I made a joke about this in a post when this came out, but this seriously looks like his motorcycle helmet from Bat-tastic. That's not a good looking cowl. That is not a good looking cowl. I like how you call everything woke when you don't even know what the term even means. Yeah, I do know what the term means. You clearly don't.
I need to become more than a man. I need to become a symbol.
I really did not. Whoever does the voice acting for Bruce here does not look. He does not sound very good as Bruce Wayne. He sounds a bit too high pitched for my liking.
What did you have in mind?
You know what? I think I should mute it so I don't get copyright. Being aware of social issues. Yeah, I know what it means, you moron. Solar Volodun is hitting it hard. So obviously they're bringing in the gliding mechanic from Lego Batman 3. It's going to be open world, which definitely makes me believe this is them giving the Skywalker saga DNA. Like they're going to try that style again. I mean, it's not a bad idea on paper. The problem was, well, besides the fact that you had the Disney trilogy in it, Skywalker saga had to be delayed numerous times. You had to cut a lot of content. Hopefully, they had more time to actually, make this game. So I'm hoping this is a lot better. It looks a lot better, at least in my opinion. It definitely, like with that thing where he snaps from that guy to this guy, that does give me like Batman Arkham vibes, which does make me believe that this might be, if this might be Batman Arkham for kids, which I think is a great idea. A great idea because, it's a good way to get kids into Arkham. I'd like to ask you a question, if I may, Brandon. I'd like you to be honest with me. Go ahead, ask the question. It's not like I can stop you. Yeah, that definitely looked like a counter. Right there, that looked like a counter. Okay, I think it would be safe for me because I want to critique the Batman voice.
Who are you? I'm Batman.
Honestly, his Batman voice sounds fine. His Batman voice sounds fine. The Bruce Wayne voice I'm not keen on, but I do think the voice from the Lego Batman 2 and Lego Batman 3 is a lot better. Wokeness is far left idealism. Why are we talking about Star Wars if the stream is about Batman? Official Ray Blitz brought it up. Why are you so hurtful and hateful toward people? Who hurt you? Who made you this way? No. I do what I do because, I'm sick and tired of seeing my favorite franchises and fandoms ruined by fake fans and hacks like you. So I'm here to take it all back. I'm here to trigger the shills, the fake fans. I'm here to do what it takes to take these fandoms back. I am a member of the Sounds like gatekeeping. Yeah, no shit. I'm a member of the Gatekeepers Alliance. I'm a gatekeeper, loud and proud. I have made that clear more than enough times. You literally saw me calling Serum Lake a fake Batman fan. What the heck? Did you not catch that? Did you not catch that? I will say the way that this trailer is set up, I actually thought that this was going to be, it's just going through the movies. Like it's just going to be adaptations of the films. I mean, you get the Red Hood there for a second. Oh, shout out to Mecha G75 for calling out the fact that Egghead's in the game. Shout out to Pretty sure Matt Wilkins made a video telling EU fans to not do that stuff, but I guess he didn't pay. First of all, I don't watch Matt Wilkins on the regular. Second of all, even if I did, I would disagree with him on that philosophy. Matt Wilkins is not the one and only authority on the expanded universe. He can't dictate what people can and cannot do. If you think I should listen to Matt Wilkins, you've got another thing coming. As Solar Voladun explains, because of the morons who saying George Lucas raped my childhood or Red Letter Media, gatekeeping became an absolute necessity. It's an absolute necessity. Fake fans make gatekeeping necessary. I don't know. I am hoping this game does have the makings of being pretty good. At least I hope so. Oh yeah, and they bring the explosive gel back. They actually did bring that back, which I was surprised that they would reference it. I hope and wish the old Lego Batman games get remastered in preparation for this game. Hopefully. Who hurt you, buddy? Did someone call you out for liking TCW and it made you uncomfortable? Why are debating against people that want to keep George Lucas's legacy intact? Not gatekeeping is the reason why Star Wars and other beloved IPs have been bastardized by SJWs. Thanks, Brandon, for the shout out. Absolutely. Instead, you should be a keymaster, someone who is open and accepting to everyone. Everyone is free to like what they like. If you don't like something, you know what that gets you? That gets you exactly where we are today. That gets you Disney Star Wars. Official Ray Blitz. No. I'm a gatekeeper. I am not going to be open and accepting to idiots who like Disney Star Wars. I am going to be brutal, and I am going to call them out for who they are. Fake fans. Anyone who likes Batman Caped Crusader is a fake fan. Anybody who thinks that the Spider-Verse movies are good are fake fans. Anybody who freaking likes anything from modern Marvel is a fake Marvel fan. I am here to gatekeep, and I am not going to stop. Liking and accepting Disney Star Wars makes you a fake fan and worse than a jerk. Have you considered, just ignoring Disney Star Wars and just sticking to the EU and George Lucas? Oh, that's what I do. And I also call out people who support Disney Star Wars, because otherwise Disney Star Wars is just going to keep on going. I'm here to hurry its downfall. Sorry, Official Ray Blitz. There's been confirmation that Adam West's Batman will be in the game. I believe the 1970 suit is also going to be here. And you can bet your ass I am wearing that costume once I unlock it. Disney Star Wars needs to fail. Okay, there really isn't anything else to the trailer, but I actually do think it could probably be pretty decent. I think it could be pretty good. I think it actually would be really. I think it could be good, assuming they learned their lesson from Skywalker Saga. Woo! Brave and the Bold. Thank God. Let me as Iron Inquisitor is one of the biggest blah blah blah. Is he a fake fan? Yeah, I'm gonna take that with a pinch of salt and say you're lying. I absolutely believe you are lying. I have absolutely no reason to trust you on that. Because I've talked to Iron Inquisitor, and he has not given me the vibe that he likes anything from Disney Star Wars. the game should be called Lego Batman Arkham. I mean, I wonder if they're going to actually have like a Lego version of one of his Arkham costumes. So, I mean, that's that I'm gonna say I hope. I don't know if it'll be. I mean, obviously the idea is it's going to be respecting Batman's 80s, 80 years of being around. But overall, I do think it is going to be a good game. I do have some decent hope. You think I'm not. Yeah, I still don't believe you. I honestly do think you're lying. To be fair, you've lied about numerous other things in the past. So I am not going to trust you one bit. But anyway, I think I should start wrapping things up because I think I've covered all I can here. Honestly, this was just a very, very low-key stream because I'm really, really tired. It's been a really, really long week, and I've had a lot of crap happening. Iron enjoys Rebels and tries to... Okay, then I'm going to have to go talk to Iron Inquisitor about it. I do believe he's working on a rewrite for TCW to make it fit. But otherwise, no. Anyway, anyway, guys, if you like the stream, please hit the subscribe button and almost forgot. I addressed this at the beginning of the game. Thoughts on Star Wars Marvel Pierce getting banned from YouTube? Yeah, it was an absolute low blow. Carly King deserves to get called out on it, and Pierce deserves to come back. I've already shared the link, I believe, to... I've already shared what his new channel is. So go over and sub to him to show him some support. Brandon, were you considering the Star Wars role-playing game for your 500? No, I was going to save that for like a members only thing once I get all the books and I actually know how to play it. I'll have to go. I'd have to talk to Tim from United Spacers Alliance about it. I have no doubt she's going to win Shill of the Week. Thanks for having me and shouting me out. Much appreciated. Hey, it's absolutely no problem, dude. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to go see you next week. Hopefully, I'll have some stuff prepared, but I don't know, because I'm going to be I'm starting to attend college, so I need to focus on that. And until next time, take care. See you, everybody. And don't forget to be awesome.